Well, Lilith did their part. They gave us 2 good maps to use for 2 different KvKs, and they both got botched. Hold my beer, Lilith, because those of us that are in these KvKs, Diplo, we're just going to ruin everything. And that's what's happened. Holy jeez, what are we doing? Typically, I don't do these kind of videos, but we're going to go through what exactly has happened in the current registration period with the 2 biggest KvK maps and how they've both been completely botched. And it ain't Lilith's fault, so y'all can't be mad at them.
You can feel that burn and you already know we're locked in deep. This is Chadky mode. This is Chadky mode.
Hey everybody, I'm your boy Daddy Chadky. I do videos for Rise of Kingdoms all the time. I hate doing these kind of videos. I don't really like these kind of videos, but we got to talk about it because it is what is going on right now in Rise of Kingdoms, especially at this Imperium level in the next KvK registration. If you enjoy these videos, throw a like on here and put a thumbs up, help us out. And if you're not subscribed, consider doing so. You can hit that subscribe button and hit the bell if you want alerts when I do content like this. Well, I hate these kind of videos. Holy geez. I did a video before, I'll have a card at the top, that talked about how Lilith botched the initial matchmaking. And they did it by taking, as you can see here in the top right, okay, they took 606 and they took 1365 down here in the bottom left, and they made us A seeds to where we had to take campmates. Okay, so I'm going to set the stage for everybody. And it was really stupid because 2359, 3308, 606, and 365 are all relatively equal. Like there's a little bit of differentiation, but between kill points and deads and power and all the different things, it's really a 4-camp easy KvK. Let's go. Rock and roll. But they made us A seeds, so we had to take campmates. Well, what did 606 and 365 do? They didn't take any campmates. Like, we put it back on Lilith to say, we're not taking campmates. You choose which kingdoms need to be with us so we can get into this map. That's what we did. And then Lilith did what they did. They gave us campmates in 606 and 365 to put us into this map to make it relatively even. Okay? And so relatively it is. All right. Now, can 3308 and 2359 handle 4 kingdom camps with 365 and 606? Probably not, but whatever. As long as you divide it up right. And in this particular map, everybody was good with it because you can go left versus right or top versus bottom. It's all pretty equal. It is all pretty equal. We have never had an Imperium map come out to where there are 2 really fair situations. Now, you could argue one way or another, like, hey, left versus right isn't quite as fair, or top versus bottom isn't quite as fair, but it's pretty freaking close. Like, nobody would have a problem with it. But what do? We F it up in Diplo. Completely F it up. Okay? I'm not going to get into he said, she said. I'm not going to get into the Diplo stuff, but basically what's happened, 3308 has left the Diplo chat. They've leaked all the video of the entire Diplo to public channels and say they pretty much just botched this. They basically said, hey, this is going to be a free-for-all. Okay? From my understanding, 3308 wanted the top versus bottom, and they made those intentions known right off the rip. 365, from my understanding, had their preference of a left versus right, but they weren't throwing out ultimatums or anything like that. 2359, that's where my second account is. They've kind of just said, hey, we're good with whatever, but we don't like this attitude coming from 3308, just demanding or ultimatums. And then 606, we don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to us. Top versus bottom, left versus right, it doesn't matter. So from there, things went sideways. And after Lilith actually does what they're supposed to do and gives us a map that we can all go into, fight a 2v2 and have so much fun with, be a massive KvK, we botch it and mess it up. Totally F it up. Like, fouled up beyond belief. So now, I don't know what's going to happen. Apparently, it's a free-for-all. And I'm sure 606, 2359, 365, they're trying to figure out what to do between 3 camps. Oh, Jesus. What are we doing? And 3308 left the Diplo chat. And so everybody's going to take their pride and everybody's going to take their petulance and just F this all up. Okay? And I got a real problem with that. Because we hammer Lilith for so long on matchmaking. This ain't Lilith's fault, y'all. Can't blame them. So even when they give us the matchmaking we're asking for, we botch it and mess it up. Holy jeez. And it's rampant. It's not just this. Let's take a look at this map. This was the other KvK. with a massive showing. Obviously, you've got big players like 1981 and Fire Camp with some campmates. You got 1718 down in Water Camp in the bottom left with their campmates. They have fixed this up to where it's all pretty much even. 1316 in the top right with 1661 and 3176. And then you've got 875 in the bottom right in Wing Camp. Like, okay, we got another good map. You can figure the 2v2 out there really easily. But no, we can't because, hey, yo, 1316 says, we are not fighting. We're looking for a farm KvK. We're going to sit this thing out. And I pretty much in everything in here, but I don't know why we even registered for a KvK. I can tell you why they probably registered for a KvK. Nobody wants to fight. Nobody wants to fight 1093. And nobody wants to fight 2489, right? So you don't want to go into the next pop. So they queued up for this pop thinking that they would get some sort of, hold on, let me come back to here. They queued up for this pop thinking they would get some sort of favorable map or a win or just an easy KvK, but they couldn't get that because the by-election put them in HA, and the next thing you know, they get put into a legit high-end KvK, okay? And you can easily make this a 2v2, but now 1365 has said, hey, we're sitting out this KvK. So that map's completely ruined. So one map ruined, second map ruined, and it ain't Lilith's fault, y'all. Like, how did we get to this point to where we are not able to put together KvKs when they literally give us good maps and balanced KvKs in matchmaking? Like, we can't blame Lilith because this is all botched now. With 2359, 606, 365, and 3308. Completely botched. And now we can't do it in this other KvK. Dude, this is affecting so many people. Like, this is affecting so many people. You know how many people quit this game? You know how many people walk away from this game when stuff like this happens? When, first of all, we got enough of a hard challenge with getting matchmaking right. Okay, that is the number one, the absolute number one threat to the health of the game is when you get into KvKs and the matchmaking's all messed up. The number two threat is when the matchmaking's good or it's feasible and all the kingdoms botch it or one kingdom ruins it for everybody. 1316, obviously, in this KvK, I know 1316. I don't really have much to say, positive or negative about them. I mean, they won a good KvK, last KvK. But now looking at this, they walk away from KvK. They announce it to all their players. This is all over public Discord, so you guys can read it for yourself. And they're not going to fight. And since they're not going to fight, it completely imbalances the KvK here. And I know Big Kane up in 1981's like, wait, what? I know the guys in 1718 are like, what? I know the guys in 875, Abu Hin and them are like, huh? What? How is this even possible? And so that's where we're at. And then, of course, in this KvK that we're in, that should have been the big one. This should have been the one we were at. Dude, you all understand how many dozens and dozens of people had to pull strings, get identification of what's going on, try to figure out how we're going to match this KvK, especially when we perceived that Lilith messed it up and put 606 and 365 in A seeds. We didn't take any campmates. That way we could allow Lilith to give us the campmates that they deem are fair, which they did, and put us into the map. With 2359 and 3308. They are the S tier kingdoms that are in this registration in Heroic Anthem KvK. So Lilith, even though I think they kind of messed up, they made it right and they put us all in here and then we botch it. We completely botch it and mess it up. Like, good job, everybody. We've been waiting for 3 months and now we got a botch KvK. So this is the reason why people will quit this game. I'm just telling you, y'all. It's that bad. It is that bad. You guys take KvK so freaking serious, and everybody's got feelings, and everybody's got all the things that they're doing as far as how they feel and what I feel personally, and this person offended me, and I don't like the way that person said this, and you just ruin it for everybody. Thousands of players. Thousands. Unbelievable. So that's where we're at, y'all. So we'll find out what kind of KvK we're going to get. I've got 2 accounts in this KvK, and I don't know what's going to happen. I think they're going to try to make something out of it. But just wanted to send out a nice video to let everybody know, hey, it appeared we were getting 2 good KvKs with 2 good maps, but now we're not getting any. How botched is that? Just so unreal. Anyways, get down in my comments. Let me know what you guys think. Throw a thumbs up on here. Give me a like. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Hope you are. Hope you have a wonderful day. And don't forget to join my Discord. My Discord is not for toxicity. You guys want to get toxic about these matchups and who did what and whose fault was what. I don't really care either way. But from that standpoint, you can do that in other public Discords. Don't do it in mine. I say join my Discord server to come be a nerd with us and have fun with us when it comes to the nuances and mechanics of the game. That's what my Discord is for. So with that, hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I don't know, maybe we get something out of this, maybe we don't.